Okay, so I am gonna restart everything. Just go for it again with putting caution to the wind, not caring about a lot of stuff. But on the flip side, I care a lot, and I'm going to think very carefully about what I'm doing. It's mainly worth the making. It's mainly worth pursuing. It's mainly worth the making. It's mainly worth pursuing. It's mainly worth the making. It's mainly worth pursuing. It's mainly worth the making. It's mainly worth pursuing. That's what I'm trying to answer today. So let me take a step back. I want to become a content creator. That's been harder to admit than it seems. Mostly because the content I'm trying to create is for a game that's 20 years old, and realistically, on first glance, it doesn't actually make sense. So what I want to answer today is it possible to be successful being a Melee content creator, and is it worth pursuing? Which are two different questions. So let me start with, is it worth pursuing? What Melee has given to me is unmatched by almost any other even experience. At this point, I've been playing Melee longer than I went to high school, longer than I went to college, longer than I've been dating my girlfriend, but she's more important than Melee, sure. And I want the opportunity to give back what I took out of it. Just from that alone, yes, it is worth pursuing. But I want to talk about content specifically, not just playing the game or being a part of a community or being a TO, for example. There are things that content does that is almost as important as any other facet of this game. The biggest thing that content does is it expands the user base of this game. When people go on YouTube or they go on Twitch or whatever it is, a lot of times watching games is what gets them into the game in the first place. Before, netplay was this kind of strange, inaccessible, netplay has come a long way before Slippy 2.0, which I'll talk about a little bit. But now, a new player trying to get into Melee has the only barrier to entry is getting a controller, which I don't even think is necessary. I think you could use other controllers, and getting an adapter. Again, you could probably just use your keyboard, even though you shouldn't. So, with the barriers of Anther's Ladder, thank you for your hard work, and the original Slippy builds or faster Melee, again, thank you for your work. There is almost no excuse. If someone wants to get into the game, if their birthday's coming around and they have no money, they just ask for those two things. They hook it up to a pretty, lousy computer, and as long as they have wired connection, they could play the game. Pretty good. Now that Slippy 2.0 came out, has really opened the doors to new players to come in, I think now is the best time to get into creating Melee, because these videos will actually have the impact that I've wanted them to have for so long. It's one thing to reach the audience that exists, to reach out to all my friends and say, oh, you would enjoy this, and get that feedback from them and kind of have it circulate within the community and entertain people. That's fine, but that's not actually hitting that kind of soul fulfilling spot, It's not bringing people in, which feels a lot more important than just entertaining who's currently there. Is it worth pursuing? Look, I've made 75 episodes of a podcast with my buddy Wasabi, and we've been doing that for over a year, just about Melee, almost entirely about this game. So yeah, I think that passion can carry us forward, and it could continue giving back to me what content should do for the creator. Also, worst case scenario, this does not go well. I get 100 views over 20 episodes, and I get discouraged, and I reevaluate after a few months. The skills that I get from being disciplined, from streaming, performing, whatever it is, those skills don't just disappear. I still have them and can kind of corral that into something else. As long as the passion and the enjoyment I get out of this game makes me work on this content, then of course it's worth it. There's almost no downside besides maybe playing less Melee and editing more. I mean, it's really not a downside. Now here's arguably the more important question. Can one be successful making Melee content? If you had asked me a month ago, I would have said yes, but it's very hard. Looking at YouTube now, let's do that. Let's look at YouTube now, okay? You see I have some Melee stuff already. If you look up Melee, you see a few creators already that I know without a doubt just prove my point that yes, you can be successful. I think Awesome Sauce is the best example of a creator that has made his success on Melee. Because you look at their videos, Rosa 6, that's 24 videos. That's 24 videos. And they're making hundreds of thousands of views in their videos. Now, granted, they're really high quality. I mean, these videos are great. And you look at the thumbnails, I mean, if that doesn't capture your eye, I don't know what will. So Awesome Sauce has figured something out that you don't need to post every day. You don't need to post even every week. But if you make good stuff, people will watch it. So proven, point proven, you can be successful making, is there anything not Melee related on this channel? All SSBM. Amazing. Now, another creator that I love is Turn Down for Wall. I think Turn Down for Wall is one of the most talented, hardworking. I didn't give these compliments to Awesome Sauce. I'm so sorry. But Turn Down for Wall maybe isn't seeing the same level of success and subscribers, but this goes back to my original few points where, look, he's making good stuff. He is still getting quite a good amount of views. But one thing I need to say about Turn Down for Wall is that he is now one of the most sought after combo video editors in the entire scene. I mean, you ask any top level player who they get their combo videos made by, and Turn Down for Wall comes up probably 1 in 3. So even if I were to make these videos and get almost no views, I mean, look, this guy's still killing it. I can't say anything. He's also experimenting a lot, but that's a different point. So if I don't get any views, at least I'll get those skills, and who knows, maybe I'll be consulted, or maybe I'll be an editor, or whatever it may be. So there's backup plans, contingency plans. There's ways to leverage what I do here into something even still Melee related that is going to be successful. I think it's worth a shot. There's one more thing I wanted to look at, and that is Twitch. So a big part of the strategy is that I love streaming. I've only done it, I think 20 hours total over like 3 years. So to say I love it might be a bit of an overstatement, because maybe I haven't actually been on the grind for too long. But I think once I realized what my best time is to do it, which is 6 a.m. in the morning, and when I am able to get that energy up and how I want my streams to go, once I realized that, I'm like, oh shit, I can actually do this a lot, especially now that netplay is not completely killing my mental health. I mean, Slippy 2.0 makes me want to play Melee online. Huge. And apparently that happened to a lot of people. So let's look at this data real quick. I'm going to move my face and we can look at some of this. So if you look here at this spike, if you could guess what this spike is, June 21st, 2020, this spike is when Slippy came out. 25,000 peak viewers. I think this spike must have been a tournament or something, or maybe Mango, I don't know, set himself on fire, whatever it may be. So you can see that there is some attention here. There are people watching the game. And on this chart on the right, you can see that there are more people streaming the game. Obviously that spiked a lot of Ultimate people, I think, or just people, you know, that wanted to jump on the hype train for Melee. Overall, I think this bump, even though, you know, it shows a little decline, this is going to be important to watch. Are people still playing Melee, and are they still watching? I think this isn't just like this is not a new character. this spike is not min-min, okay? When a game is completely revolutionized from bottom up, and the way you play is it took 6 months to put this together, right? So when something so drastic and so tangible, it's not just quality of life changes. It's not just NetPlay got a matchmaking feature. NetPlay it fused with Melee. Still has a few bumps, still important to have a good connection, but it's Melee again. So I think that this bump, it might not seem too big. In the grand scheme of things, still got its valleys, still not League of Legends. But I gotta say, I think there is something here. And I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't take my passion, my experience, my desire to be successful, and just throw it into Melee 100%. I think it could work. So that's my thesis. That's my original. This is my first video in hopefully a series where I get to really explore what I want to make, what Melee can offer in terms of content, and to give it a shot. I'll be coming out with a stream schedule shortly. I streamed once yesterday, probably going to stream again tomorrow, but overall, I'm going to do it. That's the hope. Let me go back to yeah. Look, if you like the video, do your things. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's try to make this a successful venture. Let's get some new Melee heads into the game. Thanks a lot. See you next time.